Alright guys, what's going on? This is going to be a little bit of a rant video, right? I gotta get some things off my chest. Now I've recorded this regarding the Homelander update a few days ago. I never got really around to editing it, so a lot of new info has came out. This is not me informing you guys on anything that is new, because I'm pretty sure most people are up to date of what is going on in Mortal Kombat right now. But if you're not, for one, Homelander is broken as fuck, and not a good way. Just it's like he doesn't fucking work, or it's like we're playing with a beta version of him. We don't know what combos work, what damage he's getting. We don't know what's optimal because we don't know when our super meter is being used. The biggest thing out of this update, surprisingly, even more so than Homelander, is that Cyrax is back to his original form. And when I say original form, he can do the 2 horizontal chopper moves with 1 bar of cameo gauge. So if you didn't know that, just getting people caught up to speed. This was supposed to be Mortal Kombat 1's probably biggest DLC character, biggest update. And it seems like it's probably their worst update, honestly, that it's came out. So before we get into the video, make sure you guys follow my Twitch, because I will be live tonight. I'm gonna be live, and I'm gonna be playing with Homelander, even though I'm gonna, you'll know how I feel about him by the end of this video. I'm also gonna be playing multiverses, so if you guys wanna play with me on Mortal Kombat or multiverses, make sure you drop a follow, because I will be going live at 9. But other than that, let's get into the video, because we got some shit to talk about. First, I want to talk about the Cyrax issue, and this is really big because of Final Combat. It wouldn't even be that big of an issue. We didn't have a huge major tournament coming up, probably the biggest one yet, due to someone or people, a group of people at NetherRealms being incompetent, not being good enough at their job, because that's basically what it is. We've got to deal with a huge meta change, probably about 10 to 11 days before the tournament. Now, I'm not a pro player or anything, but I could see how this could be very, very annoying. It's just a huge curveball for people to want to have to deal with this, because it's like, I've been training for months, I've been training for weeks, months, whatever, for this event in particular, and then 10 days before we get a huge meta change. I honestly believe that the reason we didn't get a lot of changes with the characters in this update was for Final Combat alone. Now, not only did they make a mistake with a character or a cameo, they probably fucked up with the biggest one yet. I've seen people saying this is a conspiracy for Sonic Fox to win the major, but it's like he's already stated he doesn't, think he's gonna play Cyrax. I think the appropriate thing for them to do would be just ban Cyrax, but then now you're talking about all the people that use Cyrax. Now you're talking about now all of them have to find a new cameo in less than 2 weeks. NetherRealms, you guys can slap yourself on the forehead for being fucking idiots and fucking shit up right before a huge tournament. And the thing is, that doesn't only affect pro players, that also affects casual players. Casual players, some people are very happy about it, but there is also a lot of people that really hated the meta, because you could go with Baraka, Raiden, Johnny, Rain. There's just so many people that are really, really good with Cyrax. You could basically do any unsafe move and just throw Cyrax out and you're good. Mortal Kombat came out and they said they were aware of this, and they're apologizing for it, and there will be an update for Cyrax and Homelander after Final Combat. But it's like, man, holy shit, if we're gonna go that long with Cyrax, they said they're gonna tweak him a bit. I mean, I don't really know what you mean by tweak him a bit. I mean, just put him back to the way you originally had him, or I don't know if they had like an update in plan for Cyrax that was gonna be similar to how he was in the beginning of the game. I have no idea. And that also means we have to fucking wait that long to get the real version of Homelander. What this also reminds me of is anybody that paid attention to Fortnite competitive, I'm pretty sure everybody's paid attention to somewhat Fortnite competitive. If you're a gamer, and if you're on this channel, I assume you're a gamer. There was always huge changes to seasons or updates in Fortnite because of how often they kept the game fresh and changed the game up, that it would always affect pro competition. But it does remind me of that, because it is a huge meta change right before a tournament, and I feel like with games, that is one of the main things you want to fucking avoid. And instead of just nerfing Cyrax to the ground, why don't we just bring other cameos up? Ever since the Cyrax nerf, people have literally just tried to replicate what Cyrax did with Kano and other cameos, just to replicate what it was that Cyrax did. Cyrax is the meta. Even though they switched to Kano or they switched to other cameos, it's a Cyrax meta because they're trying to replicate what Cyrax was doing. Anyway, that's enough about Cyrax. Let's get on to Homelander. I'm just gonna run down a whole bunch of issues and how I feel about him. Right now, I know there is an issue with Homelander not using super meter on his combos that should be. When the game first launched, everybody was trying out optimal combos for Homelander, and they were saying we could get like 36%, 37% with no meter, but it had a whole bunch of flight cancels in the combo. Those are supposed to be using meter, so after about 24 to 48 hours, people realized this, and then they had to go back in the lab and learn new combos all over again. Because for me particularly, Homelander was a little bit difficult to understand. The combos aren't the hardest part. The hardest part is learning neutral, but just realizing that I spent hours on stream trying to learn combos and stuff like that that are not optimal, that I thought were optimal. Now I have to go back in and redo the combos. I don't even know what changes are going to be making to him, so I hope that thing is addressed. If that's the case and we're using all of that meter for not even 40%, I believe the highest damage combo I've seen is like 45%. Man, that's like a lot of work, man. And putting that much work into Homelander, I'm gonna speak very casual. Like I'm going to be on a casual rant right now. I believe I'm pretty good at the game. If I put the time into the game, I believe I could be great at the game. But with me making content and stuff, I kind of split up my time from playing the game and editing videos and posting content about the game. Like right now I am. Homelander is not an easy character, and I want to say this in the right way. He was probably obviously the most hyped character. You could argue Omni-Man, Homelander, or Max. Some people would say Takeda, but Homelander was their big reveal. He was their guy. You could obviously see it in the reveal trailer. But for them to make him kind of difficult to master is actually going to turn a lot of people away, because I know a lot of people wanted to play as Homelander, or some people bought the combat pack just for Homelander, and to know that he is a very complicated character or hard to master character, I don't think that was a good move. I know it's gonna sound like annoying to some people, or some people are gonna get turned off by that, but I really think Homelander should be a little bit easier to play. I wouldn't even mind if, like, if, for example, if he's like Superman in Multiverse. Not the moveset, of course, but so Superman is one of the easiest characters to play in the game, but he's just not that great. Now, if you play him at a high level, a very high level, high level, then he could be like top 5 and stuff like that. But I still think he should be able to have some easier options for casual people. I'm speaking a little bit for myself here, because I am honestly turned off by the idea of playing with Homelander now, because for one, I don't think his gameplay hands-on to me is all that great. He seems kind of lackluster. Honestly, I think he's as far as fun playing with, he might be the least fun character I've played with in this combat pack. I'm so glad they didn't save him for last, and I think they knew this. So that really makes my hopes for Takeda pretty high, because if Takeda is another dud, man, I'm not gonna lie, this is whew. So the thing is, Homelander, he also has movement glitches. If he does like his God stance in his flight mode, you can cancel out of that. I don't know if there's been like a hot fix for it. I haven't seen anybody really do it too much, but you can basically zip around the stage. You get a whole movement speed buff. You can actually slide and crouch block and move at the same time. So he has that going on. He also has a block infinite, where, you know, if you go in your flight mode and you press your 4 button, your kick, over and over and over again, you can kind of get somebody jammed up in a block infinite. Basically, what they would have to do is get hit and then use their armor move. You guys already know this. Like I said, this video is not giving you guys a whole bunch of information. I'm just running this down to let you guys know where I'm coming from. Also, he has an issue where if he hits a cameo and the main cast character, he will hit a 45% damage fatal blow, which nobody else in the game does. It's just a Homelander thing. He's got so many issues with him. And then when we talk about the core gameplay of his buttons are very slow. I believe they want him to be a zoner, but I don't think his zoning is that great. I mean, it's good, don't get me wrong, it's pretty good, but it's not to the point where it's like I can build a game plan around this. He also has mix up with his flight cancels and stuff. I don't think his up close is terrible. I think you just have to put in some work with him. I think he's not a bad character. I think he is really lacking in the damage department, at least right now. Of course, we haven't seen a whole bunch. But honestly, I'm just here to say that I really am NetherRealm's really, for me, has dropped the ball with Homelander. I would have been fine if this was how he was supposed to be and stuff like this. I mean, obviously there's things in the fucking game that I don't like that he's doing. Like, you know, just glitchy shit. Oh, by the way, when he's in a fucking combo, in the aerial combo, he just starts, the screen is just shaking like fucking crazy. I don't know. So yeah, there's a lot going on with him. But when I'm talking about like the core gameplay, I'm not really, I seen some people were saying they were not impressed with the gameplay trailer. I was very impressed with it, but then when I actually get my hands on the buttons and stuff and I'm playing with it, he just feels very, very, very clunky to me. And I don't know if that's because I haven't put the time in, but the problem is, since he has all these issues with him and they said there's going to be fixes in probably a couple weeks, it's kind of deterred me from wanting to play with him at all right now, because I don't know if what I'm going to learn is still going to work. This is not what Homelander is supposed to be. And the fact that I know that while I'm playing that, it makes me feel like I'm wasting my time. Does that make sense? So yeah, they kind of killed my hype for it. I actually really started watching The Boys because of him being in Combat Pack 1. So when he got here, I could appreciate him a little bit more. But yeah, they've really fucking crushed my expectations, bro. But yeah, I'm gonna be live playing him tonight, so maybe you guys could see where my frustrations come from. And yeah, make sure you guys follow my Twitch, follow my YouTube. Let me know what you guys think. How do you guys feel about this update with Homelander, with Cyrax? By the way, they didn't have no fucking, like, there's no gear, there's no reptile gear. Like, there's so many characters that don't have skins. I swear there's probably like 5 characters that actually have skins this season. Everybody else just had gear pieces. What the fuck is that about? Okay, they did release some cool Earthrealm skins for Reptile, Katana, and Melina. That's probably the best part of the update, deadass. And if you, depending on what side of the fence you're on for Cyrax, you know, that's the best part of the update. Other than that, yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. I am done. Mortal Kombat, man, you guys picked the worst times to fuck up, because Multiverses came out the week before the Homelander update, and honestly, every time I get pissed off at Mortal Kombat, it makes me just want to turn on Multiverses.